Okay, I think we're streaming. Hi everyone, I'm glad you're joining me back today. Seeing it's Mother's Day on Sunday, I'm excited to teach you how to draw some flowers. So you can use pencil. I'm going to use a few today. So I've got a pen, a felt tip pen with me. I've got some pencils, some black. I'm just going to teach you the basics of drawing flowers such as a poppy, a daisy, and sunflowers. Flowers. And once you have a go, it's really, really easy to do on your own too. So we're going to start with a poppy. I'm going to use a pen first, and then I'll change material as we go. So the first step for a poppy, just draw a circle. A really nice circle. And just to make it bigger, just like that. It's not a perfect round circle. It's got some little misshapes in there, but have a go. And then when you've done that, adding, like our dotting, just start adding some dots and even some circles as well. Looks a bit fuzzy. There we go. So start filling that one in just with some dots and just some small circles. I'm doing some bigger spots and colouring them in. And just continue with that. Remember to post questions and pictures of your drawings. I loved seeing all the still lifes last week. Everyone did really well. It doesn't have to be today too. If you do any more drawings through the week inspired by this one, post them to Wall and Dilly, and I'd really love to see them. Fill that in. Okay, so if you're not done, that's okay. I'm just going to show you the next, and we're just going to start. So just like that, skinnier in the inside towards the middle of our flower, and then a little bit misshaped on the outside. So one on the bottom and one on the top. And then on sides, however, start approximately 1/3 or 1/2 of the way from the next petal and finish again about at that halfway mark on the next petal. And do the same on the other side. There you go. Just going to move that a bit closer for you too. Be a bit bigger. Just keep if you want to, just keep spotting in the middle and fill that up as well. Just with some dots. This is where dotting becomes really, really beautiful, and it's really effective in so many ways. But I think it's really, really nice when you're drawing flowers. Okay. So keep going. I'm just going to go for the next step as well. Start just adding some lines in your petals. They can be different shapes, different sizes. This is very, very minimalist shading. There we go. So have a go at that one. Okay. And if you'd petals by just joining up these two on the side. It's a very simple flower. You can do those and then just add some smaller lines coming out. Just like that.
So Liv, we don't have any questions yet, but we've definitely got some people jumping on that we've seen every week that are saying good morning. So we've got Linda, Tony, and we've got Jeff that's just jumped on.
Amazing.
And I don't know if everybody has seen, but we've actually extended Liv's workshop. So we have a total of 8 workshops altogether. But because we've already done 2, we're on to our 3rd, then we've got 5 more after this week.
Which is exciting.
Yeah, so we really appreciated everybody's feedback. Oh, and Susie's now jumped on and she said hello, Linda. And great, we've got other Linda has sent some progress photos on Messenger. So we will start getting an album together and getting that up on Facebook as we go along.
Thank you. So when you've done that, don't hurry, but for the next step, for those who have finished that, just choose a spot anywhere towards the bottom and create a stem. And here we can add some extra bits coming off. We could add some leaves. You can choose where they'd be. So you can go up or you can do some down and just join on some. You can do some closed flowers, which is just like a little bud like that. I think they're really, really sweet. And then you can add some of the top of that. And hopefully you can see that a little bit better. Just add some of our hatching, not too much, but just a little bit. And then you can add another one down here. Just play around. and we can do some leaves. So just start just with the wavy stem or a line. And then this sort of zigzag pattern like this. And then you can do the same on the other side. So I hope that makes sense. Them in the comments. We're just doing our basic outlines. If you've got watercolors at home or some inks or even some pencils, it's really, really beautiful to fill in with some watercolor or ink. But if you don't, that's okay. Our shading works really nicely. And a leaf or two, just come back in, and we're just going to continue with some of our hatching that we did in the previous weeks. So that just involves some lines, different lengths, different sizes. And we're going to try and make it look darker towards our circle. So we're just going to add a few. Just a few in there like that. This is our hatching technique coming in handy for some flower petals. In between petals, you might want to do some more hatching and make it look a bit deeper. So here I've done some more hatching to make it look darker. So in between the petals, I'm just going to do a little bit more just to darken that area. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you're going well. And I'm going to do that for all of the petals and just continue adding some hatching. In between and just around the base of the petals. Remember to me to slow down. I'm more than happy for that feedback. So just continue like, and you can even do some on the tops. Just little round.
So Liv, we have a couple of photos that have progress photos that have been posted. These ones are from Linda. And a couple more people have jumped on and said hi.
Beautiful.
And Tony said that she's really excited about the other classes.
Nice.
So that's really great. I hope those that could invited their parents or their elderly neighbours or a friend and family along to join in. So if you have joined in and you're new today, welcome.
Just looking at some of these photos, just continue going on. Anywhere that you think you might want to put some hatching, just to add it to your petals or your stem. Okay. Oh, beautiful. They look really, really good. I love the dotting in those flowers.
So Linda's just jumped back on and she said that her dad is here and his name is Rex. So welcome, Rex.
Beautiful. So just continue, just adding some more. This gives them petals some depth too. And if you'd like as well, just spend some more time filling in the middle. For these at the back, I'm going to really, really make them a lot darker. So I'm going to just add more hatching in there, some more lines, just to remove the white. And I'm more going to do it around and between the other petals. So I'm going to fill in and make it sort of a shadow. So I'm really going to remove the white in that and just add lots and lots of lines to give it a shadow effect. Keep posting progress shots. I'd really love to see them. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going, and at the top of my stem, I just want a little bit of a shadow. So I'm just going to either add some dotting or some hatching. I'm going to add some dotting just to integrate it a little bit more into our picture. And I'm just going to make the dots a little bit wider as we go down in the stem to give the illusion of light. Remembering from our earlier weeks that the further away the dots are, the lighter it looks, and the closer together the dots are, the darker it looks. So I had lots of dots close together at the top and further apart towards the middle, where it's, you can add some cross hatching, some blending, anything you like. You can choose where you want it to be darker or lighter. And then just continue adding some more lines in our little flower buds. I'm going to do some more here. And just continue working this all through your artwork. This could be a nice Mother's Day card if you want to redo some of these flowers. There we go. So I'm just continuing filling in the stem with whatever technique I like. I'm doing dotting, but whatever you like, you can do. And then for my leaf, I'm just going to go back into hatching. So along this part here, at the very bottom, I'm just going to add some hatching. Not too much, because I think this is a really flower in its own simplicity. So along the middle, I'm just going to add some more. And there we go. Just overlay your technique and just continue overlapping.
We have a few more photos that have come up, Liv.
Beautiful.
We've got one from Jeff and I think Linda. And remember, we've got two Lindas.
It's nice to see both Lindas back.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining again.
And one of the Lindas, I'm pretty sure has her kids joined in, and that may be the same Linda that has her dad. I'm not sure. I'm sure she will comment. But yeah, we've got a few more progress photos which are looking great.
I love the detail in them. I think they're
fantastic.
Beautiful. Okay, just keep going. I'll give you a few more minutes just to keep filling in the little bits that you'd like to fill in. And then we'll do a closed pop, move on to flower. So you can add some more leaves if you like. So just start with the, where's my zoom gone here? So just start with a stem at the bottom, get a bit wider, and then just continue with this pattern. Just like that. And then you can add a line in the middle if you'd like. And if you'd like for extra little veins of the leaves. Just like I might add some more into my picture actually. I think the buds are really cute. Very sweet. When you're finished that one, just add another stem somewhere or flip over to a new page. Do this for now while people just continue with their other poppy. It's sort of long S shape in a way. It's not straight, but it's not completely bent. I'm just going to leave that there while everyone continues. And for the next poppy, we're going to pretend that we're going side on. So we're going to look on a poppy that is facing this way. So what we just do, just add a petal like that, facing the way that your stem curves. So it could be facing this way or it could be facing this way. Just and then when you've done that one, there's no hurry as well. Just at the base of that petal, just add another smaller one, a little bit sharper, and it finishes just at the top of your first petal. It's amazing seeing 11 people on. I'm loving how involved everyone is every week, and I'm very thankful. Okay.
So we've got a new picture up, and I think we have a new budding artist, Liv. Rex has just posted, well, we've just posted Rex's picture, and the detail in it is amazing.
It's just loading. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Really beautiful. Oh my gosh. Love that. If everyone can hop on and just, they're all the same picture, but they're all so different too. Okay. Just petals there. And then we're just going to add so it should be almost symmetrical. And just add another one on the top. So I'm going to bring that a bit closer. So it should look like our middle of our flower, which is this bit here, is tucked away somewhere in there. Just dropped my pen. Okay, so when you've done that, feel free to add, again, in our stems, little flower buds. And even like a semi-opened flower. So we've just learnt how to do that one. And what you can do is draw a little cup. And just have some little petals poking through. just like that. So it's not completely open. Take your time with it. If you're not done, that's okay. Again, like our other poppy, just add from the middle of the stem some hatching. Doesn't have to be too close together. Can be a little bit squiggly. And just continue adding to your other petals as well. Because these petals are behind, I'm going to make them a little bit darker and just add more of those lines or completely color it in. That's up to you, just to give it some of that shadow. And I'm going to do that same technique of our hatching just on the other side, just to make it a little bit darker behind this very big petal at the front. And the same just for this one in the middle. Just going to add some small bits of hatching. Almost looks like dotting. It's very small. All along, just in there. There we go. I'm just going to continue just adding. Really got it now, it's amazing. Just continue adding those techniques and that shading through.
So Liv, Jeff's just posted, he's asked how does he see the posted pictures.
Okay.
It might be a little bit tricky for some while they're watching the video and trying to jump onto the Facebook at the same time. So don't stress too much. But there is a folder on the Wallandilly Library Facebook of today's drawing class. So you can go and have a look at the end. But I know what you mean, Jeff. It can be really hard to go between a live Facebook video trying to draw and go back to the posted pictures. So don't stress too much. But they'll be up there for you to have a look at when you're finished.
Beautiful. So just keep going with that. And remember, you can pop some more questions in if you'd like. I think everyone's going really well. And just continue choosing where you add those techniques. I'm again going to do my hatching for the little rosebuds or flower buds, sorry. And then maybe for my smaller flower down here. Give the petals some texture. And then I'm just going to do some dotting through my stem technique you like, or whatever you've done. Both pen and pencil are really, really good for these, and so is charcoal. So anything you use, really, really effective. Okay.
Hey Liv, we've got a new comment, and we've got some new people with us today.
Beautiful.
So Rosemary has commented that she's another oldie, and she was introduced by Jeff.
Oh, amazing.
So that's fantastic. For everybody that is joining us today, all the old Facebook all the old Facebook lives are still up on the Facebook, so you can scroll back, but they're also on Wallandilly Library's YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and start from the beginning, you can, and they'll be up there for, I guess, forever now. So feel free to go and have a look.
How's everyone going with that second flower?
So one of the Lindas has just sent through another photo, which will get posted up soon, but it looks like she's started to get a bit creative with some colours.
Beautiful. Yeah,
feel free. And I need to apologise. Our new person that's joined us today is Elton, and he's just using somebody else's Facebook account. So
okay.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Elton, and thank you, Rosemary, for letting him use your Facebook account.
Beautiful. So we'll just spend a little bit more time on this flower, and then I'll move on to doing some daisies, which are really, really nice to draw as well.
Liv, I love the poppy on the side angle of the poppy.
Oh, thank you.
It reminds me of all those beautiful Anzac Day posts.
Oh, that would have Anzac Day. But yeah, if you've got watercolor or of these, definitely feel free to add color in some reds and some greens, but get creative. I think everyone's drawing them really, really well, and the leaves too. Okay, I'm just going to do one more minute for that one, and then I'm just going to flip over to a daisy. I'll post this in Messenger later, and you can review the video if you'd like to go back to the poppies. Okay, I'm going to flip over our page. I'm sorry if anyone's not done. I'll post that soon. And we're going to move on to our next flower. I think everyone got that really well. Okay. So the next flower we're going to do is a daisy. For now, I'm just going to continue using my pen just because it's dark and everyone can see it a little bit clearer on my screen than a pencil. Maybe for the next one, I'll use a pencil. But again, like the poppy, do a bumpy circle. And a small one in the middle. then we're going to start doing some dotting on the inside, just around that circle. And in that circle, we're going to make that quite dark. So just add lots of dots in there. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just colouring that in. This is really small. And then just continue doing some dotting just around the outsides, but then going to small circles. So we're just going to add some small circles all around the outside of that little circle in the middle. And then as we go out in this direction to the outside, we're just going to get bigger and probably to around this size. So just go from small circles to larger circles. You can start adding those larger circles all the way around if you'd like. And then you can start going either from smaller to larger or from larger to smaller. Doesn't matter. But just take your time and continue just going around. And these bits are where you can add lots of detail to flower drawing. I think lots of people just draw the circle and colour it in, but I think this is really, really beautiful, and it shows you put lots more effort in just by adding detail in the centre. Oh, I'm off the camera. There we go. So just continue doing that, and then we'll add some petals soon. And you'll see from a distance, you can't really see how the circles have been drawn. It just looks like it comes together. So if you'd ever want to take a step back from your drawing, it'll look different to being very close up as well. So I'm just continuing adding those circles. And you can use these for lots and lots of different types of flowers. So I'm just going to go from my smaller circles. And this is essentially, if you did the dotting workshop or the technique workshop, this is essentially dotting. However, we're just doing lots of circles, going from smaller circles to larger circles. And hopefully you can see the difference. It looks a little bit darker in the middle, and then it's getting out towards bigger circles there. If you'd like the middle to be dark, dotting in the middle, and just go over those circles just to make it look a little bit darker. But if you're happy with it, you can leave it. So just continue going. You'll notice that my circles aren't perfect. I think it would take a long time if we stressed too much about how perfect our circles would be. And in the big, you won't really notice any of those little mistakes. Well, not mistakes, but those little imperfections. Circles, it'll all look like it's meant to be.
If we have a comment from Jeff, he's just said that this method seems more suited to the fine line pen. He's finding it hard to keep the pencil sharp.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is really good for fine line pen as it doesn't go blunt. But it doesn't matter if the pen is as long as there's the notion of just keeping those circles going, so it doesn't have to be sharp all the time. As long as you keep those circles just going, it should just be a little bit softer. The pencil should still work. I think you could create lots of different shades with pencil as well. You could go from quite dark to quite light a lot easier than pen. So I'm finding that gradient's a lot easier to make as the pencil goes more blunt. I think it turns out really nice, so I'm excited to see yours, Jeff. Just continue going just with your drawing, and I'll just give you a little bit more time with that one because I know it's quite time consuming, that one. Okay. So when you finish that, if you're not finished, that's okay, keep going. I'm just gonna start, and in your own time, you can just do these. So we're just gonna go off the middle of our flower and starting close together, getting wider, and then finishing close together. I'm just adding some little little grooves at the top. So just like that. Just start popping them just around. You can leave little gaps in between these petals, or you can start and go in towards another petal and finishing in against that petal, if that makes sense. So just keep adding some different shapes and different sizes all the way around. You don't have to go in one direction. You can start at different places. You can overlap some too. Just take your time and keep adding those petals.
So Liv, Linda has said that she's using a propelling pencil.
Okay. Are they I think they're the twist ones, or the ones that you click.
Yeah, she says she has to keep the nib. She said, I use a propelling pencil, but I have to keep the nib sharp. It's great for, is that stippling or stippling? Stippling,
there we go.
Stippling, yeah.
That's
And then we've got another picture posted by Jeff, and we also wanted to apologise because we have so many Lindas that we accidentally mixed up the two Linda pictures. So we think we fixed that up now. So we do apologise.
Yeah, when you get a bit further into your daisies, just keep posting some pictures. I'd love to see them. But take your time. This one's a little bit more time consuming than the others. It's obviously got more petals, and you can go in between as well. So in between these two, I might want a petal. So just find spots where you could maybe put some more in. Can be different sized petals. They can be different widths, different heights. Just keep adding those in. I think I'm going to leave that for my one. And then if you've got any little gaps in between, some more dotting or some, just colour it in. Just some depth and some shadow. So that's usually just around the centre of the flower. Start that hatching, very close lines together just to fill in. And just around the centre of that flower. So just continuing those petals. I'd love to see when you finish those petals, if you can send through some photos. I'd love to see those. Just keep finding spots, shadow or darkness in between. So you might have some petals coming in between. So it just adds to that. Just at the base of those petals, just to create some shadow. So I'm just finding the ones that are coming in between our initial petals around the center and just adding some some stippling just to create some depth in there. Use your blend, or you could use cross hatching. Blending would be very effective too, so you could just color in between. And just continue adding, or continue with yet. And this should start to make the flower look a little bit more real. That should be back. Just keep adding those little bits and darkness between. What you can start doing too is adding some lines, like our poppies. These ones are quite straight, but just bring them up almost to the top of your petals. Some can be longer or shorter than others. Just start adding those in as well. Just do these to all as well. This technique is essentially the same, or this flower is really, really similar to a sunflower. However, with sunflowers, the petals don't come as a curve. They, sunflower petals will be like that with a point. So you can have a fiddle as well, just to keep in mind that lots of flowers are very similar. So your options are endless. Just keep adding those little bits in there.
So Liv, we've got Linda with an I has got her daisy up on our album page now. So we've got some more progress photos coming through.
Oh, I love that. Well done.
So yeah, they're all looking very wonderful.
I love that someone's coloured in their poppy. That looks really, really good.
Yeah, I think that was, let me have a look. That was may have been, was it Linda?
I think it says Linda H here.
Linda H. Yeah, Linda H. She's added a smidge of colour using watercolour pencils.
Beautiful. You can even get a paintbrush with some water on that and give it a painted look as well. Just continue with those daisies. I'd love to see more photos as you go along. So I'm just going to continue just as I go, just add some more. Now you can start adding some more depth in between. So all around the center there, just like our poppies, we can start adding some more hatching or some more shading. Just to give them a more 3D look. So as well as these long lines, you can start coming in with some hatching. I'm really liking hatching because I can go in the direction of the petal. You can do blue. I'll colour one in with a so you can start quite dark in the middle and around the petals. So quite dark with your pencil blending. And at the top. And then as we come between, just start making a in the middle. So I hope you can see that. So going from dark on the very outsides of the petal and slowly getting lighter as we go in. If you're using pen as well, you can use pencil over the top. Give it some contrast as well. But I hope you can see that blending dark to quite light in the middle, and it makes the petals look a little bit more 3D. You can even go over those lines with some blending, so a little bit dark. And I hope you can see that effect with some pencil. And you can just continue with that along the other petals as well. So I'll just keep going with some pencil. Just with some blending, you can do the hatching as we did with the poppies like this. You can use some blending with the pencil or charcoal if you've got some charcoal. The sky's your limit. You can add some colour if you'd like. You can do some blending or cross hatching or hatching with some colour. It's not limited to just black and white. But you can just keep doing any technique you choose just around through the petals, just choosing where it will be darker and lighter. I think darks usually sit around and at the base and the top, and the lights are usually where the petals are more rounded like this, like the top of my hand will be lighter and the bottoms will be darker. Continue just colouring in the bases. You could do some hatching. Don't feel limited to one technique. And just keep going with those. It's like you're creating your own colouring book by just drawing and having the opportunity to colour it in. So I'm going darkest around my petals for my blending. You can do the same with your hatching. Just go dark around, just like our poppies. And then just less in the middle, just like that. So you can do hatching. You can do dotting too. It might take a little while, but it's a really, really fun challenge. So if anyone does that during the week, I'd love to see it. Okay, so I hope you can see the effect of the making them look a little, and you can just continue all the way around. Take your time. I'm just gonna as well, if you get sick of doing petals, you can have a break from that and you can add a stem as well. So I'm gonna be just using pencil now as well. Start off a little bit thicker at the top and then just get a little bit closer together as we go down. So there's my stem.
We have another daisy added, Liv. This time it's Linda with a Y. And I'm loving your daisy. I love when the video reflects off it, that you see the shininess of the lead pencil.
I know pencil's really cool with that illusion. I like it. Thank you. Yeah, I hope that makes sense to everyone. If you've got questions, please just keep popping them in the comments. I think everyone's really nailed those techniques that we've gone over in the last few weeks. And I'm really excited that we can do some ocean weeks. We'll be doing some landscapes and some portrait drawing, which would be really cool. Oh, that daisy looks really, really good. I'm loving all the petals overlaying. I think they look really nice. And I love how you've done, I think this is Linda B. I love how you've done the inside of the petal. And they're not quite circles, but they look really realistic. I think they look really nice. Beautiful. So I'm just trying to have a look. Daisy leaves are a little bit different to poppy leaves as well. They remind me of coriander. So again, if you're not up to this, that's okay. You can just go over it afterwards. So it sort of comes out from the stem quite wide. And it's sort of in that sort of shape with little bits coming up. It's got some little spiky ones like we've got with our poppies. And remember to add that middle line and just some veins. So if you want to practice and have just lots of little grooves. It's the perfect way to do this one, just practice. And maybe if you want to Google some online in your own time as well, just feel free. And just add some more, just to those veins inside. So I think these are really pretty leaves. And they've got some smaller ones, you can add them. And just like our poppy, just coming off the side like that. And you can choose your own method of shading. I'm really liking blending actually with pencil. I think that's a really effective one for covering a big surface. A little bit softer than doing hatching. I really love hatching too. But just colouring those leaves, I recommend for blending, if you blend those leaves, a really effective way if you're doing it is just cover over with that blending motion all of those lines that you have in your leaf. It doesn't have to be perfect either. This is a really, really cool way to start and create a 3D look. Top of the lines like that. And then you can start blending out that softer in the middle. It's going from dark to a little bit lighter and then back to dark where you've got your darker bits. And just colour around that Just blending that to be a little bit lighter. Just like that. So I think blending is a really, really effective way to get all the grooves in, especially in leaves and in petals. But just keep going with colouring that in. And from a distance, it looks very different to what it does up close. So you can just use that blending motion as well. I think any technique that you use would look quite nice with flowers and leaves. I think the sky's the limit for what you do. If anyone gets flowers for Mother's Day, for any mums on there, feel free to even draw them or pop in our next week's one. I'd love to see them too. You could do a still life of the flowers that you get. I'm not a mum, but one of the kids I look after as a carer, he's going to make me a Mother's Day card. So I think I'm getting a Mother's Day present, and I don't yet qualify, but that's very
lovely. That's so sweet.
It's very sweet. But just continue with this. You could try a few different ones. It's all about practicing and figuring out what you like and what you could be good at, or what you are good at now. Challenge yourself a little bit. I'm loving all of these photos. Please post some more. And just continue going. This one's a lot bigger and a lot more complicated than our poppy, but the poppies, I love how simple they are, and how dainty they look too. If you'd like to do, I know people might not be done, I'm not finished my shading yet, or my colouring of my flower, but you could do a daisy. I'm drawing the stem right now, making sure people can see it. So I'm just drawing my stem. If you'd like a different angle for a daisy, and just like our poppy, how we had it on the side, just have a little sort of cup at the top. Start with essentially, oh, can I see it? Like a little line on top. And then there's the center of our flower there, and just have some petals drooping. I think if you've got pencil and you're using a rubber, that's really good. I'm using pen, so I'm overlaying my little cup there, cup shape underneath. But that's how you can sort of make, you can start first with the top, just add some petals, just going in different directions. You can have bigger ones or smaller ones. You can draw your little center of the flower at the top, and then just have the stem coming down. So that's a really pretty angle to have a flower on as well. If you'd like to try that, have a go. If you don't want to, that's fine. Keep going with your other one. And then you can just keep adding the detail in there. So just add those flower lines, like those hatching lines, and the grooves in the petals. I think that's a very pretty one as well. And it's very simple too, just like that. I'll send in some pictures to the library page afterwards if you'd like to refer back to these pages that I've done today, if you'd like to have a reference. Otherwise, feel free to afterwards Google some more flowers and challenge yourself with some more. And send them through as well. I love to see people just drawing and being creative. I think that's really, really good.
And Liv, we can also keep posting in that album. So if people go on after this to, you know, go out in the garden and maybe start drawing some other flowers, feel free to post it through and we can stick it up on that album. Just let us know that you'd like it posted in the album from today, and we'll definitely try our best to get it up there.
Beautiful. We've got 12 so far from more daisies. I hope everyone's going well with them. I know they take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think one of our Lindas has said that she's finding it quite time consuming, which is good because if what we do have at the moment is we do have time. So
yeah, exactly.
I think we've just lost your picture, Liv.
Sorry.
No, you're right.
Oh, there we go. Hopefully that should jump back in a second.
And while you guys are still drawing, I might just jump in for a sec, Liv, and just encourage everybody to keep looking on Wallandilly Library Facebook page, as the library are doing a lot of online projects at the moment, and one that's coming up is a book club. And the next session for the book club is on Friday the 15th at 3 p.m. So all those details are on the Wallandilly Library Facebook page. So each month they'll be selecting an ebook that everybody will be able to download. All the details are on the Facebook page. So yeah, another thing to get interactive with, and hopefully use some of our time up while we're waiting for life to go back to as normal as possible.
There we go. I think it's back. Okay, I think that's back.
Yeah, that's better.
Beautiful. Charcoal would be really, really great for this too, I think, especially with blending. I think you could do really, really well with the blending. And if you've got a blending stick, you can drag some of that colour into other petals. That works really, really well with charcoal. I thought, while I've got time very quickly, I know people might not have finished time consuming. I'd love you to keep drawing through the day though and put up your finished results of your daisy. I thought I'll quickly go through, while we've got about 10 minutes, just a basic rose, because I think that's a really nice one that people can draw too. So what we'll do, if you'd like to get a new page, if you don't want to do this one, that's okay. Just start with a stem. I'm using pencil. And pencil's really good because for this one, you might need to rub out a little bit. And just for the leaves, we're going to do similar to our poppies. They've got little spikes on the outside, just like that. And you can just add a few. Hopefully you can see that. And then at the top, just add just a circle really, really lightly. And an oval just at the top, just like that. So I'll just give you some time to do that one. So today we will have covered 3 flowers. You can alter the daisy and point the petals out to a sunflower. Google that on, like Google some sunflowers online, and just use the same technique for the middle, and just change those petals a little bit. I think you can really do it. You've got that for your rose. Then we're just going to come down, and I should have done my circle a little bit bigger, sorry. Just come around and just go around that shape there. So it's like a little vase. So just like that. And then you can just add some bits in the leaves too. These are a little bit different to our daisy and our poppy leaves, but quite similar to our poppy leaves. And just add some of those veins going in the direction, just like that.
Got a few more pictures that have come through.
Beautiful.
Liv, we've got from Susie, Kerry, both Lindas, and we've got a picture from Jeff as well.
Amazing. Thank you for posting them. Let's have a look. Oh, beautiful. There's heaps now. I know the shading Linda takes. I love that. And Susie, that looks amazing. The leaf looks very detailed as well with the shading going on there. Beautiful. Yeah, Rex, that looks amazing too, and so does yours, Jeff. I think the middles of the flowers look really detailed with all of that dotting. I know it takes a while. Beautiful. So I hope everyone's a little bit still going with the daisies, or is up to this little bit with the rose. So what you can do next is come from the bottom. I'm sorry, it's a little bit light. I've changed to a lighter pencil. And just add something like that. So it's just a little petal coming around the side. So just have a go at that one. If you've got a rubber, you can get rid of just the middle circle a little bit. That was just as a little base to know how wide the flower would be. Good start. And then after that, you can come through with another petal. Like that. And then we'd have to rub out just in the middle of that. Hope that's going okay for everyone. This is just a basic rose. And then after, if you'd like, you can just fill it in with all of the techniques that you've learnt and that if you've practiced. This is just the outline that I'm just showing you. And you can Google online, you can Google some rose drawings or just some roses and just try and draw the outline. I think that's the first step to drawing flowers, is having the outline there. And then you can go in with the techniques that you've practiced. Just like our poppy, we're just coming back behind and we're just gonna add another little petal behind there, and then around. So just a little petal behind and join it to the top of that circle. You won't be able to see it too much. You could add some thorns. I know roses have thorns.
Liv, Linda's just asked what kind of eraser are you using?
I honestly don't know. It's just a normal one from a $2 shop. So yeah.
So it doesn't really matter?
Doesn't matter at all. I didn't have a rubber for about 3 years, and the kids I used to teach had to bring their own rubbers. So I decided just to get a packet from the $2 shop. So it doesn't matter. Anything you like. And then just add a little swirl in the middle. And I think that's a really basic rose, but it's a really good way to start. And then you can come under and just start adding some hatching, some cross hatching, all of those techniques, and creating shadow. I think this is really dainty. And you can color that in as well, but that's just a very simple outline of a rose as well. The Wollondilly Library later on of this one. I might do a little bit more of a step-by-step drawing to send through so people can refer to that. I'll have that posted probably by tonight, a new step-by-step drawing. I'll post the daisy and the poppy as well. So I hope you got something out of this, and I'm really, really, really happy with all of the flowers that you've sent through. I think they're amazing. So definitely keep going, even if it takes a while. Put the TV on, put some music on, and I think it's a really good way to spend some time during the day. Yeah, so I think that's all from me today. I hope you've learned something.
Excellent. So thanks again, Liv, and thanks to everyone that participated. Feel free as you keep going along to add it to your, send it through Facebook Messenger to Wollondilly Library and we can post it. And just quickly before everybody goes, I'm going to do another library plug. We are doing another Facebook Live on, excuse me, in the background I have kids learning at home, so you might be able to hear that. So we're having a biggest morning tea and we're doing that virtually. So on Friday the 29th of May, we will be doing the biggest morning tea. We're going to have a guest speaker from the Cancer Council, and you'll be able to comment and be part of it. Have your own cup of tea at home and be part of it. So jump on the library Facebook and do that as well.
Beautiful. I'm excited for all of those events. I might jump in on the book club as well. So just a reminder, if you want, you can add some more people in the next week. I noticed someone shared their Facebook login. If you've got someone that you trust, that's a really nice thing to do. Yeah, get as many people involved. You can maybe teach your kids or some other people those skills as well. Send your pictures to someone. Next week we're doing, and the following week we'll be starting drawing some landscapes and some portraits. So stick on for those ones.
Excellent. So we've got lots of thank yous again, Liv, Susie's, thanks so much. She's really enjoying it. Tony's had a great time. Both Lindas have had a great time. Kerry has said thank you. It's really great to have everybody come back and enjoy it each week. And as I said, if you do want to go back, it will still be up on the library Facebook. It will also be up on the library YouTube channel. So we look forward to being involved next week. And Jeff said thank you as well.
Awesome. Thanks for joining, guys.
No worries. We will see everybody next week.